I'm about to show you guys the infinite automated outreach loophole. This is the most insane secret client acquisition method I've never shared with anyone in my life before. This has allowed me to scale an offer to 7 figures in 3 months with $0 invested and without having to do any work myself. This is a loophole on Instagram that allows you to send thousands of cold outreach messages every single day and circumvent the 50 per account message limit every single day, and find your dream prospects, have Instagram tell you if they can actually afford to spend money on your high ticket product before you message them, send thousands of messages every single day without hitting that ban, and quickly get them onto sales calls, which you close effortlessly. It's called group looping. I discovered it about a year ago. This is what I call it. And I want to share it with you guys right now so that if you're in a hard place with client acquisition, you can use this to sign your next few clients without having to invest money in ads, spend a bunch of time filming content, or doing outreach the traditional way, which simply doesn't work, right? So let's get into it. The first step here, I want you guys to understand how traditional cold IGDM approaching works compared to this method, right? So here's how traditional cold IGDM approach works. Essentially, your account has a per account daily message limit of 50 messages, right? Every single day. And that's if your account is warmed up. If you have a brand new account, this is even lower. If you make a new account for the purpose of outreach, you have to start your first couple of weeks with no messages sent, just interacting with random accounts to make sure that Instagram doesn't think that you are a bot, someone who created an account just for outreach. Then you have to move up the next week to 10 messages, then 20, then 30, and so forth until you get to 50 after a month or two. Now, if your account's already warmed up, you have an Instagram account that's a real account, it's been active for a while, you can send maximum 40 to 50 messages a day. And if you send more than that, you get red dotted, right? What that means is Instagram will essentially mark you as someone who's a spam outreacher, and you will automatically go into the message requests instead of the main messages, or even worse, the hidden requests, where all of the spammy, illicit messages go, which never get opened or looked at, right? Which is essentially the death of your account for outreach. Now, because you can only send 50 messages a day and outreach is a volume game, you need a lot more than 50 messages to actually get replies. This results in you having no money, especially if you get red dotted, right? You're not gonna make any money if you're red dotted with outreach. Here's how group looping works, right? The secret group looping IGDM approach. Instead of sending the messages yourself, you essentially create loops with other people, appointment setters on your team, right? So essentially you would find someone, you would find some friends of yours. Here I have a few of my friends, Kim, Duolingo, and Elon, and I'm gonna get them to each send 50 messages per day at their message limit, right? And by doing this and adding me in a group chat with the prospect, right? So let's say I wanna reach out to Alex Hermosi. I would have Kim start a group chat with me and Alex. And because she sent the first message, it counts towards her message limit and not mine. What does this mean? What does this mean? That means if I have these 3 friends helping me, suddenly I have a message limit of 150 messages per day. All I have to do is get these people to send the first message, and I can continue the conversation from there without it counting towards my message limit. As a result, I can have an infinite daily message limit, right? When I was doing this, I had a team of 12 to 20 setters at any given time, right? Which allowed us to send 600 to 1,000 cold outreach messages every single day, right? So this is what we call group looping, right? Having you looped into group chats where you can send the second message and continue the conversation. Now, because this allows you to send as many messages as you want, you don't have a limit. You can get the volume and required to be successful with cold IGDMs, and as a result, you can make a lot of money. You are able to actually get these rare conversations like the one on the right side here, where someone actually books in for a call, right? Now, how do you find people to help you do this? Well, when I first got started, how I got people to help me create group chats was I literally made an Instagram story, just asking which one of my friends wanted to be, or followers wanted to be appointment setters, where I would pay 5% of the revenue I collected from clients for any client conversations they started, right? Now, if you don't have friends who want to do this, what you can do instead is you can go onto Instagram and you can look up setting trainer or setting coach or sales coach, and you can find people who essentially their job is they create courses or training programs for appointment setters, people who want to get into the online sales space. Because what generally happens is these sales trainers will create their courses or programs where they say, hey, give me $3,000 to join my program. I'll train you on being an appointment setter, and I'll guarantee you a job placement after so you can actually make money. That's the main kind of offer in the online setting space. And so they really need to find offers to place their setters on. So if you reach out to any sales coach or setting trainer, they're likely going to be willing to give you as many free setters as you want to help you with your offer if you have a high ticket offer. And that's what I started doing afterwards. After I ran out of friends, I started reaching out to setting trainers and getting free setters that way, right? Now, you get some people to help you start these group chats. How do you find the prospects? That's the next step. How do you find people to actually reach out to? Here's how you find quality people to reach out to who actually have money to invest, so you don't deal with tire kickers. We're going to use a tool, and before I get into that, I also want to make you guys understand. The process I'm going to show you goes way deeper than just cold outreach. I'm going to show you when you actually get people on or a conversation started, how to nurture them through that conversation, get them booked onto a sales call, make them show up and close them in a way that's so precise psychologically that I was able to drive 663 people to my BSL in order to hit an 85K per month run rate, right? 7-figure run rate. I was able to hit 7 figures in 91 days with only 663 people I cold outreached seeing my BSL. If you don't know what a BSL is, it's a belief shifting letter. We'll talk about it later on in this video. And as a result, we really didn't need that much attention to hit 7 figures. The way we found the dream clients who were really easy to convert is this way. We use a tool called Facebook Ad Library or Meta Ad Library. If you're not familiar, due to transparency laws, Facebook has to share all information publicly on ads that are being run on its platform. So you can go on this website, you just Google Meta Ad Library or Facebook Ad Library, and you'll see this page where you can select the country you want to find people in, what kind of ads. I always just hit all ads, and then you put in your niche here, right? And what this allows you to do is find all people in your niche, in your selected area, in the country you want to look at, who are already investing money into ads. Why is this so important? If someone is investing money into ads, it means that 1, they believe in advertising and marketing, so they're going to be willing to invest in client acquisition. 2, they actually have money to invest. They're spending money on ads, right? So they're spending thousands of dollars in advertising. So they believe in it and they're willing to invest in it. These are prime people that you want to target. So you figure out what niche you want to target. Let's say you want to target wealth coaches, right? You essentially just type down wealth coach in here, and it will show you every single advertising wealth coach, their Facebook page and their Instagram page if they have one, right? And you can literally just look at them here, or you can actually press search and look at all of them here. Everyone who's ever launched an ad, right? Now, if we want to go to one of these people's Instagrams, right? Let's say Kim Digital Wealth. We can just look up her Instagram from the dropdown, and here you go. You have a wealth coach who's investing in ads. You can very clearly see from her bio that she has an offer, right? She has an offer that she's trying to get people to. She's trying to get 9-to-5ers to learn about her so she can sell them. So this is a prime prospect for us, right? Another example, criminal defense lawyers in Canada. I get all of these criminal defense lawyers who are running ads, and I can now go on their Instagrams. The beauty here is, not only can you find everyone who's running ads, you can now hit this plus button right here next to the message box after you message them, and you can find all of their competitors and people in the same niche as them, and you can reach out to them, and then you can go onto each one of these pages and do it again. Press the plus button and reach out to them. And so you'll get 20 competitors or people in the same space from the suggested for you, and then you go onto each one of those 20 and you find another 20, and just like that you find hundreds or even thousands of people in the niche you want to target, right? What do you do after this? Well, now you have to start the conversation. So step 2, how to start infinite conversations with your dream clients. We're going to start a group chat. As you can see here, we have one of my setters, and I'm going to show you the entire script, every single message that we used to get the clients on the calls and why it worked. Okay? So we found someone by looking up ad agency, for example. I can't remember exactly what keywords we used for this niche because we decided to target like every single niche we could. I literally had, 20 different setters, each reaching out to a different sub niche so I could get everyone in the market, right? We absolutely pummeled the online space with ads. Or with outreach rather. And so here's how we started it. We said, hey Luke, me and Miro are at dinner and we just saw your ad. Why does this work? Well, we know they're running ads. We found them through the ad library. And if we're asking someone about their ad, they're likely going to think that we are a client, a prospective client, a possible client. Even when they don't think so, in this case, the guy said, what's the pitch, gentlemen? They're still very likely to reply because right away, there's relevance there, right? And it's also a pattern interrupt. having someone in a group chat like this, having 2 people reaching out to you instead of 1, people never see this. It's such a strong pattern interrupt that your chances of getting a reply on the message is just so much higher because it's intriguing, right? And so the only thing I've blocked out here in this entire script, I want to show you guys everything, is the names for privacy reasons, right? So, hey Luke, me and Miro are at dinner and we just saw your ad. What's the pitch, gentlemen? Well, Luke, first off, it's an honor to connect. We were just wondering how long have you been scaling businesses through Facebook and TikTok ads? The reason we sent this here is we're trying to qualify if they're established. We just want to make sure before we actually get them onto a call, if they actually have money to invest. If they say, oh, I just started yesterday, it's probably not an ideal client, right? We're just being safe. Now, oftentimes they'll tell us here, oh, I've been running ads for 5 years, or we've done this many clients or whatever. They'll try to flex their muscles and show you how good they are if they think you're a prospective client, which is great. They qualify themselves for you. If there's any friction, if they're not replying or they reply negatively to this message, just move the conversation forward. Skip the qualification phase, right? So he said, respectfully, I get 15 of these a day. I'm a business guy. Give me a good pitch and I'm all ears to consider, right? So we have here someone who's very straight to the point, and we need to send a persuasive message at this point to get him to potentially book a call. How do we do that? So what we do here is we use something called a pain-pleasure wedge, and this is how it works. Step 1, personalize the message. The first thing someone wonders when they're reading something is, what's in it for me? The easiest way to make someone understand that the value is going to be relevant to them is to send something custom just for the first sentence, quick and to the point about their profile. I looked at his profile, I checked his story, I saw he was getting supplements from a store called S2, and I called that out. People are impressed by that. You went the extra mile, you did something personalized, you looked into their life, and by law of reciprocity, they are 50% more at least likely to reply now. After I personalized the message to make it not look like a scammy copy and paste, message 2, seed the pain. And just to let you guys know, by the way, even the messages from my profile, they weren't actually me. They were another setter I had trained. So none of this work is being done by me. There's essentially 2 setters running this play right now, right? One setter being the other person starting the group chat, and one setter pretending to be me, right? So second message, seed the pain. People reply to pain and that's it, right? Biologically. The first thing that we decide, or we kind of analyze when we're trying to decide whether something's worth our time is there a threat of pain or an opportunity for pleasure? And the pain is 3 times of a stronger motivator than the opportunity of pleasure. So we call it the pain specific to this person. I said, as valuable and insightful as the 169 reels you've posted are, again, I went on his profile, we were selling a content offer, personal branding. I went on his profile, I looked at how he's currently doing content. He'd currently posted 169 reels and they were getting close to no views. And I said, as valuable as the reels you've posted are, I'm guessing they've burnt over 100 hours of your time and roughly $2,500 in editing fees without generating 6+ figures in additional client ad revenue, right? Seed the pain in his head. Make him think about the fact that he's done all of this work, right? He's posted hundreds of reels, which would have cost him thousands of dollars in editing fees and hundreds of hours of his valuable time. And I want to put him in a state of pain to think about everything he's burned through and lost with no return on. And then we move into seeding the pleasure. If you're not opposed, I can show you the systems we've used to generate millions of views for personal brands like, again, names here hidden for privacy, but we put a bunch of the names of people we've worked with, and scale multiple online service providers to 7 figures in client rev within 120 days. Now we're seeding the pleasure. What we're doing here is we're doing what's called a pain-pleasure wedge. We immediately show them the position of pain he's in, which is all the way over there. People are generally feeling pretty neutral about their day. They think they're somewhere here. We want to make them realize they're actually over here in a state of pain, and then show them that they should be over here in a state of pleasure. And it takes them away from being neutral to being polarizingly far away from where they want to be, right? What we do next is we give them a 0 risk exit offer. We give them an offer which is going to involve no investment or commitment of their own, so that they can just get some value and leave if they want and never look at us again. At the end of our conversation, you're welcome to just take the system that we show you and implement it yourself if you'd like, right? And as a result, what happens when we do this with someone? We personalize the message, we make them understand how much pain they're actually in, make them understand how far away from the pleasure they want they actually are, and provide them a zero risk value offer, which they can exit at any time. We usually get a reply, right? So love this pitch. Content has been exhausting. We kill it on TikTok, but would love to diversify over here, right? Positive reply, amazing. So we said, again, be human. Keep the conversation natural. My setter said, glad to see the TikTok success hasn't come from dancing. What's your availability look like tomorrow to connect? I'll set up a Google Meets link for a time that works for both of us, right? 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. CST works for me. Drop a link or invite wherever. Luke at, here's my email. Sent over the calendar invite, as you can see here. Confirmed the day of. Yes, he's still good. And had a fantastic sales call. Agreed to sign on that one call. Had to get, the contract signed and some things changed. So booked another call to get that stuff signed. Which teaches you a valuable lesson here, right? This is something that we've implemented since. Now we have automations for contracts in our process, right? We have automations that when someone's on a sales call, our closer can actually put in 3 or 4 seconds worth of information, their name, the installment amounts, and the dates for the installments, press enter on a button, and it'll actually generate a contract with that person's name, with the installment dates, with the special terms that they've noted. Everything gets auto-generated, sent to the person, and as soon as they sign it, it actually sends them everything else, sends them a Stripe link, an onboarding link, everything else that they need. So just a side note for you guys to make sure that you automate the contract signing part of your process to avoid needing a 2-call close. Now we're able to stick to 1-call closes because of this, right? And once this is done, had the follow-up call, got everything signed, and essentially let the client pay, right? $12K. So guys, this is $12,000 US for a Zoom call that we had off of a cold DM that we did using this method. One of many, right? This scaled us to 7 figures on an offer in 3 months with cold outreach, cold traffic. And so I just want you guys to understand the strength and power of this method. Being able to, because again, cold outreach is largely a numbers game. It's also a psychology game. You need to understand the psychology of your customer. You need to understand what drives them from a pain perspective and a pleasure perspective to get them actually interested enough to get a call. But you also need volume if you want to scale quickly. And so this infinite loophole is one of the most dangerous techniques I've ever learned about. So 12K USD collected. Now, here's the thing. I want to be very forward with you guys. The reason he paid that 12K was not just because we got him on a call. There were 2 more incredibly important things that went into this process. And this is step 3. We need to essentially be able to make our dream clients show up on the call, pre-sold, pre-educated, and ready to buy. What does that mean? If you get someone through cold DMs, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. And you need those 3 things for someone to be willing to pay you $12,000 to $15,000 to $25,000, right? So how do we get someone before they show up on the sales call after we've set the call to actually become incredibly invested in our process, sold on our process, sold on us, and actually come onto the call being like, I understand exactly why I need what you're selling, and I feel like I've known you for years? Well, we use something called a belief reformation letter or a belief shifting letter, right? A belief shifting letter, a BSL rather than a VSL, is like a VSL, but it doesn't focus on selling the process, right? A video sales letter focuses on selling your product. We don't focus on selling the product. We focus on selling the belief that will lead someone to sell themselves on the product, right? So for example, if you want to sell someone a keto meal plan, don't sell them on the keto meal plan. Sell them on the belief that cardio is the cause of all their problems. They're never going to lose weight working out because it takes the body 4 hours to liquefy fat into muscle and or fat into energy, and only 20 minutes for the body to liquefy muscle into energy. And so when you try to lose weight by working out, you're just burning your muscle, putting it back on while you sleep, and you get stuck in this hamster wheel. It doesn't do anything for you. So instead, you need to teach your body how to use fat as an energy source, which is what keto is. If you can sell someone on the belief that keto is the best way to lose fat and not working out, they'll sell themselves on needing to buy a keto meal plan or a keto program or whatever you're selling in that space. So we create a one-to-many sales asset, a BSL, which can do all the selling for us. You set this conversation in the DMs, then you say, hey, before you show up for the call, I'd like you to watch this video. It's going to show you exactly how we're going to help you scale so that you don't even have to show up to the call if you think it's going to be a waste of your time, right? Again, it gives them that exit. It seems like a no-brainer. They're going to want to watch it to see if it's even worth going on an hour-long call. So you get them on this video, they watch this belief shifting letter, and now they buy into your entire belief system, which frames everything else in the market as the cause of their pain. So that's the point of this. You want to give them the belief that everything else in the market they're currently buying, whether it's ads, whether it's content, whether it's SEO, the way most people are doing things, it's what's causing their pain, and that they need a new opportunity that's completely opposite of that to essentially get that state of pleasure. And that is called an opportunity switch, right? That's modeling your offer as the opposite of everything else in the market. So without going too much in depth into this process, what I want to explain is the pain pleasure wedge is step 1 out of 3 for making an insane amount of money with $0 invested. It's how you get the attention. It's how you get people booked onto the calls. Now, to pre-sell them before they get onto the call, make them think that they already need your product before they show up onto that call, we use a belief shifting letter. And then on the call, to effortlessly sell them, we basically create an opportunity switch, which is an opportunity, an offer, which is in line with that new belief, right? So it just seems like the natural decision for them to make. Now, when you're able to incorporate this, right, it makes scaling to 7 figures incredibly easy, right? Because you don't have to sell people anymore. You have infinite outreach you can do. People sell themselves before they get on the call. They show up to the call and they finally understand when they're on the call before they even get there. I'm showing up to this call knowing why I don't want to work with anyone else in the market and why I need this specific mechanism, right? So if you would like to create your own $0 attention generation mechanism and your own opportunity switch, right? That offer that is framed as completely opposite of everything else in your industry, so it becomes effortless to sell at whatever price you want. And you want to learn how to create a BSL, a belief shifting letter, a VSL on easy mode to print high ticket client deposits with no cost of acquisition. You can either do it yourself by going to the free full step-by-step training I'm going to put in the description of this video. And if you decide you want someone to just do this for you, accelerate the process, someone who's spent thousands of hours making these for clients, and someone who's actually had a 45 to 55% watch through rate on their VSLs, with VSLs as long as 40 minutes long, when the average person can't even retain 10 to 15% watch time on a 10 to 15 minute VSL, right? That's the industry standard. If you want someone who's actually quadrupled the industry standard to help you print with this model, you can have us do it for you. I'm going to leave a second link somewhere in the description of this video where you can essentially chat with our team if you don't want to just watch the training and do this yourself. Now, if you want to chat with me a little bit before booking a call with our team, you want to get a bit more information on what a BSL is, how to incorporate this kind of script that we've created in this infinite IG outreach loophole method with your own business model, with your own unique business. You want to get some more tailored advice before you make the investment of time of speaking to someone. You can actually message me BSL on Instagram so I know that you came through this video. My Instagram is shown here on the screen, Miro Gacic, MIROGACIC, and I'd be happy to help you guys out. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube. I'm going to be sharing insane loopholes like this as often as I can. I'm posting videos multiple times a week so that you guys can quickly scale your business to your first 100K per month. And if you have any friction or trouble with that, come to us and have us help you. So again, guys, everything that you need, whether you want to do it yourself or do it with us, I'm going to provide to you guys here for free the knowledge. And as always, Carpe Omnia sees everything.